All right, hello everyone. My name is Bryce Porter, and today I'm going to be talking about and discussing how the rights and the lifestyle of transgender people are slowly being taken away by an oppressive society and government, and basically what that looks like in their everyday lives, specifically in their relationships, both romantic and social. So, a little bit of an introduction to my topic. I got really interested in my field of study, which is developmental and social psychology, as you can see, because my sister is actually a psychologist. And I listen to the stories that she brings home because she works at Riverside as a mental health technician. And it just really makes me interested and intrigued in mental health and abnormal psychology and all the things going on in people's minds. So that's really what got me started in this field of study. And I'm interested because it shows them going against of social norms. So that's what really intrigued me with this field of study. Okay, so Psychology Today. The magazine that I've been writing for is obviously Psychology Today. It is basically an everyday magazine with articles that really anybody can read that are both relatable and informative. It has many controversial topics, which is why I chose to write an LGBTQ based article for this publication. Its main focuses are on behavior and the psychological aspects of current affairs. The articles that are within the publication Psychology Today contain many different rhetorical conventions, but a few mainly popped out to me. The use of a block paragraph writing style is very unique and smart to use because it allows the thoughts to flow seamlessly from paragraph to paragraph. Another convention used is that the writing is done strategically in both first and second person. This really allows the articles to feel more personal to the readers, and to me, it gives more depth to the articles. Something that the articles did contain that I have chosen to exclude from my paper is the use of photos. To me, personally, there is really no picture that can capture the hatred and pain felt by the LGBTQ community from society. I definitely could have posted a picture with a sign from a hate rally with a hateful term on it, but I think that the words of the articles speak louder. So, starting with the research on this topic, I thought that I had bitten off more than I could chew. Because as I started looking up things such as transgender monogamy and how society affects transgender people, nothing was coming up. That is when I really realized I had chosen a topic that had virtually no research done on it and that wanted to be explored. I then really knew that I needed to use the knowledge that I already had on the transgender community based off of books, reality TV, and social media. I needed to work from the outside in for this topic, starting by researching the rights that Donald J. Trump is taking away and other facts about this group of people. That is when I realized I needed to find some statistics about the LGBTQ community. In doing this, I found that a shocking 2,644 out of 6,450, or 41%, of the transgender community had attempted or thought about attempting committing suicide. Most of the information that I used in my annotated bibliography proved to be useful, but I did end up needing to do some additional research and find more sources in the end. After doing all this research for my paper, I really figured out what I wanted this paper to be about. The main question that I used to guide along my whole paper was, how does the current outlook of the government on transgender people have an effect on their relationships due to the influence of society? I really knew that I was writing to the gap because of the lack of research done on my topic, which shows that it needed to be talked about and explored. I mean, after all, I typed in questions and seriously nothing was coming up. Okay, so let's dive into the summary of my paper and hit the key points. I basically started out my paper by giving examples of the rights that the government is trying to take away from the transgender community. While researching this, I found that writers Erica Green, Katie Benner, and Robert Pear, who are all writers for the New York Times, stated that the Trump administration is considering narrowly defining gender as biological, determined by genitalia at birth, the most drastic move yet in a government wide effort to roll back recognition of transgender people under federal civil rights. Seriously, just this alone could cause a tremendous amount of hate and backlash from Trump supporters and other individuals with the same perspective. This change, however, was going extremely well, which was mainly put in motion June 26th of 2015 a day that I think most people can remember, which is when the Supreme Court struck down all state bans on same sex marriage and legalized same sex marriage in all 50 states. The efforts of Trump, however, have set this movement back seems to be about 10 years. One of the main points I made is how monogamous relationships mean something, if not more, to transgender people. It seems to me that biologically male and female people really take for granted what they have and do not realize that many people don't do not even want to be in a romantic relationship with a transgender person because of the genitalia they have that they were born with. This leads into married couples. Many people do not make the transition until very late in their lives. By this time, they have established relationships, marriages, and sometimes even families. In an interview that I read that dealt with Megan Somerville, who was a transgender female, she stated how after she came out as a female, her former wife completely lost interest and even took away her children from her. One of the questions that pops up to me is, where did that love go? That just shows to me how shallow today's society is. That somebody changing their gender automatically means that they're a completely different person. I completely understand that Megan Somerville's wife was a straight woman, but taking away the children seems extremely extreme. I don't think this is all completely to do with Trump, but the revoking of the rights and his thoughts on the topic definitely have an impact on the hate and the mindset on transgender people and their relationships. Now you need to ask yourself, what can we as a society do to help not these transgender people not have their rights being revoked for them for nothing? The main thing that we can do is to not sit idly by and watch these innocent people get their rights taken away. Didn't even do anything. You can become more educated. Read up on the LGBTQ community. It isn't that scary of a thing that shouldn't be talked about. Trans, gay, lesbian, we are all people. Watch the news. See the rights being taken away firsthand. Become overall more educated. But most importantly, treat people like people. Don't have hate in your heart to be cool or mainstream. Beauty comes from those who don't follow the leader. And for struggling people, don't let bitter, unhappy people drag you down to their level. Thank you.